Here we are, at the end. I have like a third of a level to go to get the last skill point, but honestly, the only skill remaining is Enhanced Chi Blast, which is for Azure Sand, which I don't think I'm gonna want to rely on in the boss fight. So, we are wrapping this game up now. I highly doubt we're gonna need another episode after this, because this feels very final, because I don't have fast travel anymore, mainly. And you to talk to. This is the end, isn't it? I feel like we just went on a massive wild goose chase. This is not the time to mourn. Was that supposed to fill me with hope? Yigong just seized ultimate control of the council. Commanding the guards to annihilate us will be a piece of cake for her now. And don't get me started on the mutants. It won't be long until the entirety of New Kunlun is crawling with them. Do you really think there will be any survivors? Solarians aren't the only residents on New Kunlun. What do you mean? Are you talking about Xuan? Wait, no, you mean you want to save the ape men? I'm not in the mood for jokes right now. Are you really serious? Thought it through. I want to help the ape men survive. They don't deserve to. They didn't deserve any of this. Regardless of whether New Kunlun goes dark, we must take them all back to the pale blue planet. We should return the flames of the eternal cauldron before everything is extinguished. If Hung were still here, that's what she would have done. Yeah, they don't deserve to die with us. That would doom the eternal cauldron. Do you know how many people sacrificed their lives for this project? That's why there shouldn't be any more sacrifices. Do you think the ape men are more worthy of redemption than we are? I believe they'll have a chance to live better lives. I guess Xuan has influenced you quite a bit. Same goes for you. Forget it. I can't be bothered to explain myself. Well, this is where we're at. If you want to do some good deeds before it all ends, I won't object. But what happens afterwards? This is all empty talk if we can't stop Yigong. If a battle is inevitable, I have something that could tip the balance. Remember that rhizomatic bomb you found last time? I have plans for a new arrow that, if made, could tear apart heaven and earth. That is not an exaggeration. So you mean you're gonna tape the bomb to an arrow is what you mean. Have you started making it? Yes, the automatic forge is working as fast as it possibly can, but it still needs some time. The bad news is this type of arrow can only be fired once. Once is all I need. Let's split up. I need to prepare for my confrontation with Yigong while we wait for that arrow to be completed. The ape-man problem is a bit more pressing. I need you to take Xuan to Shenong. After that, activate the docks and... You can't just decide for me. I'm not going. Xuan? It's very cyclical. Don't throw a tantrum. I know you were listening. Did you hear everything Uncle Chubby and I were saying? Then you should know that it's not safe here anymore. Didn't you see how they hurt Abacus? I don't want to go to that blue planet thing. I want to stay with Yui. I want to go to Penglai together. Don't be silly. That's not a place you should go. At least you'll be there. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't even know me. Of course I know you. I know you like your food well seasoned and extra spicy. I know that when you sleep, even the neighbors can hear your snoring. I know that you're super knowledgeable about everything. You taught me so much it made me realize how big the world could be. I know that after Mom and Dad left, you were the only one who would love me. I'll have nothing if you're not going to be with me. Xuan, there are some things I think you should know. I'm actually not a very good person. Centuries ago, in a desperate attempt to avoid extinction, we Solarians took your people. We kidnapped countless ape-men from the pale blue planet to New Kunlun. We robbed you of your freedom, treated you cruelly, and killed you indiscriminately. That's the truth behind Peach Blossom Village. The worst part is, this was all my idea. I already figured all that out ages back. I'm not stupid. I saw those killing machines on the day I left with Anong. That was when I guessed that our village might not be what everyone imagined it to be. Then you should also be aware that if it weren't for me, you might have been living a normal life on the pale blue planet. Your mom and dad would still be alive. When I first saw those things, I was really scared, to be honest with you. But that's the thing. You're the E who lives with me now. You're not the E from the past. And most importantly of all, I know the current E would never hurt me. As dangerous as it might get, I'm not scared when I'm with you. Please let me stay. Don't be silly. Since when did you start being so difficult? How's this? I promise to pick you up from the pale blue planet as soon as things settle down here. Really? When have I ever lied to you? Please, go take refuge with Shenong and the others. I better get moving in case something happens to the docks later. I'm leaving it in your hands. Explain the situation to Shenong and guide the 8 men to the transport ships. I'll prepare for my fight and wait for the arrow to finish before meeting up with you all. Rhizomatic arrow. An arrow crafted by Kwafu. Inspired by the rhizomatic bomb, it carries a similar destructive energy. This arrow should be used as a last resort in your battle against Degong. It can only be fired once. Can I even equip it? Nope, I cannot. Alright. I'm pretty sure I've still got my boss Jade setup equipped. Yeah, alright. Boss time, I think. Let's be honest, brother. With that incredibly smart brain of yours, how could you have overlooked the fact that none of these ships can move unless there's a Solarian at the helm? Were you expecting these 8 men to fly themselves to the pale blue planet? You're the best pilot I knew it, you sly dog! Looks like I'll send Xuan and the rest of the villagers back to the pale blue planet. However, that is my own decision and has nothing to do with you. Do not thank me. I just want Xuan to have a real home. I also bear some responsibility for causing this mess. As for you, go get your affairs in order, even if it's just the 2 of us left. Let's go back to Penglai together, you got that? It's a promise.
Hey.
Take it easy, you furballs aren't going anywhere before my people are on board. Especially you, Chubby. With you around, the villagers act like a bunch of obedient children. Saves me a whole lot of bother. Here I am, still relying on you gods to lend me a hand right up to the end. Feels gross. Isn't that right, Xuan? Xuan? What's wrong? Didn't you want to say something to E? No. Come on, we're on a tight schedule here, kid. No, I don't want to go. I want to stay with you, E. Xuan, come here. I have something for you. How does that thing even work? Hey, is this your mystic nymph? Yes, it's very important to me, so I want to ask you for a favor. Can you hold on to it for me for a little bit? Really? Okay, I understand. I'll take good care of it and return it to you later. Why are you pouting and crinkling your eyebrows if you understand? How about this? As a reward, I'll take you to see the ocean when we're both on the pale blue planet. Really? Then sure. Pinky promise? Pinky promise. It's almost time. Let's get ready to depart. Take care, brother. You all take care, too. So this is a space station of sorts. How are you doing, dear brother? Whenever I get some free time, I always find myself writing to you, just like before. I would be lying if I said I had no regrets over deciding to stay. Whenever I think about dying alone in a world without you, I start to feel so lonely. I know you're probably too far away for these messages to catch up. It will probably take hundreds of years for you to receive the first one. Oh, so they're not like hallucinations. I know I'll never get to receive your replies. But that doesn't matter. For my memories, I can piece together fragments of you. Your every glance and your every word. I'm sure your plans have worked, and you're no doubt celebrating the fruits of your success. Or perhaps you've embarked on an entirely new journey. No. I was going to pick you up, I swear. I didn't know I would wake up centuries later. If you have a new family, will you still remember me? Of course. How could I ever forget about you? Will you miss the days we spent together? I'm sorry. I miss you so much. I really miss you. Sorry. This is supposed to be my last message to you, not just a bunch of trivial questions. I wanted you to know that my time has come. But don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'll just be stepping ahead of you to return to heaven and earth. I know. Let's make a promise, that on that day when we meet again, you'll take the time to tell me your story. I promise, Hung. I promise. It's a promise. Take care, my dear brother, until destiny reunites us. Goodbye, Hung. You have no more unread messages from Penglai. Okay, so that's a makes those, really changes the context around those. Very convenient that we're going this way. Okay, so then what? Hold on. Alright. I think this is actually it. This area was always pretty incredible because it's like a 3D area in a largely flat game. 2D, not really flat. I don't know, just wrong word. Music is suitably dramatic. Program unlock primordial roots core. Loading. System encrypted. Operation failed. What a way to end off the hacking. So you have the floor. Thank you. I think my fellow souls will agree that it's time to face the music. We can bicker all we want, but the truth is that the Tianhua cannot be cured in the short term. Therefore, I would like to propose a bold new plan. Huh? Yigong might think you're clever, but since when did we let a rookie give orders around here? Let's not spoil the fun, Gomong. This kid's pretty charming. Let's see what he has to say. If anyone wants to raise any objections, please hold them until the end. The plan is called the Eternal Cauldron Project. Eternal? Interesting. Have you been keeping the elixir of life from me all this time? No, you misunderstand me. It's not bodily immortality, it's spiritual immortality. To put it simply, it's a plan to place all Solarians into virtual reality while their bodies are put into cryosleep, until we find a cure. Ha! Our scientists in Jia have already experimented on this. They were not very successful. This time is different. This time we have Lady Ethereal's Vital Sanctum and Soulscape system. Her tests have proven that we can fix all the shortcomings of older hibernation devices. Combine that with the creation of virtual worlds, and all Solarians will be able to enjoy centuries of blissful dreams. Lady Ethereal, does it really work? Yes. Upon waking up, all test subjects were very satisfied with the dreams they experienced. There were a few who had trouble, but those are minor issues. I'll patch those out. The only issue is generating soulscapes for tens of thousands of people requires an unprecedented amount of computing power, which is why they're harvesting the 8-men. We wouldn't be able to meet capacity even if we linked up every single abacus on Penglai. I believe the esteemed Gomang has an answer to that. Why are you asking me for an answer? If this is how half-assed your plan is, count me out, rookie. In your research on Jiangxi soldiers, didn't you posit the possibility of biological calculators? Huh. So that's what you're talking about. Connecting biological brains in series can indeed form an immense biological computer. However, that theoretical model requires the brains of organisms with much higher intelligence. From where do we source those? Don't tell me you're going to use Solarian brains. Of course not. We can't use anything polluted by the Tianhua. I mean, that would be unethical. You all remember the Haushan sphere, right? The Deep Space Telescope has been running for centuries. It has collected massive amounts of information. Did it actually find a planet with intelligent creatures? Exactly. We have temporarily named it the Pale Blue Planet based on its appearance. Reports show that primitive humanoid creatures with large and active brains reside on the Pale Blue Planet. Show me the report. I want to see it. You can't just make up such a huge discovery, young man. I have read the report, so we need not doubt its veracity. They're still living beings. Wouldn't that be too cruel? That pity is totally unwarranted. If left alone, primitive species tend to wipe themselves out anyways. Better for us to cultivate them for our purposes. Are we opening a whole new hunting ground? The J-Clan is itching to get our muscles moving. You're all thinking too far ahead. The Pale Blue Planet is 500 light years away from us. What? So this meeting was a complete waste of time? The Fan Clan didn't spend our money to listen to your fantasies. 500 light years. We don't even know if we'll make it to the next decade. Even if we did manage to gather enough food, how are we going to gather a vessel and the energy to get there? We already have a vessel, and what's more, we're sitting in it right now. In the final phase of the Eternal Cauldron project, Kunlun Island will be launched into the heavens. The entire island, with everyone on it, will warp to the Pale Blue Planet. You're insane. No, he's totally serious. I've done the calculation. There's enough energy stored in the primordial roots to make that trip. It will only take a few years to build the necessary rhizomatic energy columns and engines. As long as we have the primordial roots when we reach our destination, energy replenishment shouldn't be a problem. But what? Speak up, fatty. Easy. What Kwafu wants to say is, once we make this trip, we will not be able to return for at least another 500 years. Because you're going to use all that spent up energy. Well, we could actually go back if we wanted to. Calm down. Why won't you hear me out? It was you. You're the perpetrator. Where are the others? The other souls have their own matters to attend to and have asked me to speak on their behalf. I see. From the very beginning I was the only one kept in the dark. Even Kwafu and Lady Ethereal knew. They reached the same conclusion as I had. We must accept our current predicament. Conclusion, my ass. It's you. You and this accursed Tiandao Council. You murdered everyone. Murdered my parents. Because of you, now Hung will die too. So he found out that the Tianhua was the result of their own hubris, and that was what set off the... Interesting. Alright. This is a very final-looking elevator, so... Oh boy. Alright, let's make sure everything's in order. Nothing's frozen, nothing's broken, we're actually recording. E. Oh, there's more. Okay, well. Alright. Root core monitoring device. Fusang is breaking free from its seal. We're about to lose all control of the Primordial Roots network. After arriving near the Pale Blue Planet, the Primordial Roots were coaxed to build a massive web around New Kunlun to partially cover the nearby star, allowing the roots to absorb its light and provide never-ending power to the Eternal Cauldron project. Right, so they did. I was thinking, like, what is the eternal flame that they were talking about? It's a Dyson sphere around the star. That was what I was thinking about. Decryption process 80%. That's a lot of percents. What does Egong hope to gain from taking over the roots? Okay, now we're... You're up early. I thought you would sleep much longer. I realized that this really isn't the time for a nap. Shame. Why return to this pitiful place when you can welcome a whole new world in your dreams? A whole new world? I don't care what it is you're trying to do, but you better stop right now.
What's all?
Why? You are about to witness the liberation of Fusang. This is our destiny. We will soon devour the fruit that fate has provided for us. We have waited too long for this moment. You've gone insane. Insane? I found the truth and unlocked immortality. How can you not fathom the significance of this achievement? You're right, I can't. I don't understand why you would make the same mistake over and over again. Transforming Solarians into those mutants can't be the answer. Prophets always have to beat a lonely path. Never mind. You'll thank me in time, you and everyone else. This is the dawn of our race. Solarians were but stupid beasts before the whims of fate, endlessly pursuing our own tails. You should celebrate because we're about to break out of this cycle and enter the realm of the immortal. And you think this is what will free us? I'm not going to let you have your way. How extremely cruel of you. I hoped that by trapping you in your dreams I could avoid this confrontation. No mentor can bear to end any of their students' lives. Don't make me do it twice. Okay. Alright. She does not have... Alright, I do come back here. And I can rest there. Alright, that's good. She does not have... There's been a little click sound before a lot of attacks that I was using as a tell. She does not have that, which is quite something. Also, she has next to no indicator on her crimson attacks. Oh, come on. Jeez, that talisman attack is quite something. Okay, I think I gotta completely hold off on any kind of offensive activity until I can get these attack timings down and survive. Really doesn't seem like you can unbounded that one at all. Okay, well, definitely seems like doing the kick on the talisman is a way to avoid it, but it doesn't seem to stop her any. Directional, right. Okay, I think it might be better. Thank you, music. That's very, very helpful. I think it might be better if I just don't worry about unbounded countering those attacks, the main crimson attacks, and just try to avoid them, because there is no indicator on them. Ah, I didn't jump. Yeah, even at there's just I'm struggling to find an opening. Okay, I gotta give this one more try and then I'm gonna change something up and you'll see what it is. Even if I do that, there's not enough time. Alright, so what I'm gonna do... Water flow. We're gonna switch off of full control for the first time since we unlocked it. And we're going to use water flow in this fight instead. Because I think that's going to be the key to actually getting some goddamn damage in. That takes a long time. Damn it. She got the talisman on me, but she didn't manage to grab me. Phase 2. Got mixed up there. All right, I made it to phase 2. So we're making progress. I think water flow really is the right play here. Right. Right, yeah, that's a Gah. Alright, she's also doing this thing where most bosses, if you get behind them when they're about to do a combo, they'll turn around. But for her, she doesn't. She kind of just like slides to be in front of you again. And that's throwing me off because it means I don't have to turn around to get her parries when I go through her with the talisman. I've got it. Oh my god, I've got it. It still requires... It still requires very, very good precision. But I know how to get... the overhead. So I'm gonna... This is probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna go back to my buddy Full Control, because I think that'll let me get much bigger and better Talisman Blasts off. And I can still work single detonations into it. It's the direction she warps in. She actually warps. she actually warps upwards when going for the overhead. Like, she blurs upwards. Yes. Ugh, you still gotta be really on point for it though, and some of those attacks in the second phase are rough. One charge in the first phase, that's pretty good. Gah. That was a waste. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so she does not stagger for very long in this phase. Long enough for me to get a 3 detonation off, but not long enough for me to do all 5. But 5 does help me get through the first phase faster. One thing I do want to do though, instead of... I think we're going to go like that. We're going to go Hedgehog. Then we're also going to go Recovery. And this way I'll be able to capitalize off of all those parries I'm getting. At the very least, it stops her from recovering internal damage, which is a thing that bosses do. If you don't hit them enough, they'll actually heal off their internal damage. And sometimes, okay. What I'm gathering in this fight, and this is I'm probably reading way too much into this, but this is a very interesting thematic element of the fight. E is irrelevant. Don't look at E, look at Egong. Egong's movements are key. E's position and existence is irrelevant. Still stagger her. Almost. So close. That really was the secret. Ah, she has a sliver of health left! No! That really was the secret, because she has variations of all her attacks by design, but her tells are often enough. That was rough. Ow. Alright. 2 charges on the first phase. No. No! No! Too early. No! That was almost cool. Okay, that was weird. I parried it and it also went off at the same time. Wow, okay. Whew! Not gonna be able to do that again for about 50 more tries. And here we go. Oh no. No, 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 no. She cannot. She is a third phase. Ah. I'm still alive, curious. That's very curious. Okay. Well. Trying to get the tempo on that. Because it's like bling bling. I'm pretty sure it's bling 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 slow, which is either dodge or wait. I don't know. It's rough. I wish I could just skip to the third phase and have her be invincible just to practice that attack. Because that's going to be my main stopper, especially because she's spamming it. Can't get too far from her. There's some delays here that I'm not quite understanding. Too early, no! And yes, it is Bam Bam, wait. I did it! Learned from the best, defeat Gong. So it's like bam bam, like as fast as the delayed slashes. As your mentor, I have to admit, you've improved a lot. You moved with grace and showed no trace of fear. Are you not scared, E, knowing that everything might turn to dust? I am scared, but I have also learned to accept failure. You didn't learn that from me. It's almost time. Thank you for joining me as we bring an end to this era. Seems not even you can stop the inexorable wheel of history. No, stop! Solarians will last forever and ever, a shining beacon of the universe. Devouring the core of the roots. Just got the value. Oh, Gomong's still alive, not much longer. I wonder if those guys would still be moving if I hadn't encountered them earlier. Probably not. I don't think they go to that much detail. Hey, I got rid of that. Yeah, see, it's just a static cutscene. It's pretty weird. Well, I've got an arrow for that. I guess it's time to use it, right? Where are you guys at? About 300,000 li away from New Kunlun. Is everything okay there? Good. Then you should be out of range. What do you mean? What are you doing? Yigong infected the primordial roots before she died. Now I have to destroy it. What? You're going to detonate the rhizomatic bomb, but that will destroy the entire island, I know, but this is the only way I can put an end to this disaster. Perhaps this will finally allow everything to return to nature. But what about you? I'm sorry, but you'll have to take care of everything else. I've been a terrible friend, always making messes for you to clean up. That's not true, brother. Don't worry about it. Is Xuan nearby? I want to speak to him. Xuan, I need you to listen carefully. I'm afraid I won't be able to pick you up. You lied to me? Promise me you'll eat well and live well on the pale blue planet, even when you're on your own. You lied to me! Also remember to teach yourself swimming. I'm sure you'll be swimming in the sea in no time, even without me there to help. You're the smartest kid I've ever seen. No! I can't do anything without you, E. Why are you doing this? Why would you lie to me? If you're going to throw me away, then why did you save me? You were the one who saved me. You helped me understand so much that I didn't before. I feel very fortunate to have spent all this time with you. Thank you, Xuan. In the end, you were the one who woke me up. You were even able to bring me some hope for this world. Don't say that. I don't want you to go. You can't go. Don't cry. Somebody once told me this. Life and death are one. When the end comes, we'll just return to heaven and earth. Oh, why am I being left behind again? It's not fair. What am I supposed to do when I miss you? Don't worry. Whether you're under the sun's warm embrace or floating upon that boundless ocean, I'll be there, as a part of you for all eternity. Okay, I better get going. Take care. He don't. Shooting star, fight through hardship. Oh boy. Credits roll. That was an amazing game. Round of applause. A long round of applause that I'm not gonna do because I want to actually talk, and my clapping is gonna cover it up. That was Nine Souls. That was an incredible game, and all these people that you hear on the credits roll. Ooh, that's loud. I'm gonna turn that down on my end, so I can focus. Oh, that was a great game. We spent probably just about 24 hours, I want to say. What is my playtime in Nine Souls? 28.9 hours. Okay, so a little more. And that was, yeah, I already want to like play through the game again, get 100%, find the things I missed. There are a couple achievements I don't have that, like, most of them require me to play through the entire game again to make a different decision, but wow, I enjoyed that a lot from start to finish. Like, I don't know, the first time I played through Hollow Knight, and I know it's kind of awkward to relate this to Hollow Knight of all things. I mean, they're very similar in genre, but they are decidedly substantially different games. But Hollow Knight, when I first played through Hollow Knight, I don't remember being this satisfied when I got to the end of it, because I didn't reach the end of it on my first playthrough. And that did kind of taint it for me, because I wasn't good enough at games back then to really beat the Hollow Knight. And well, when I was playing through it for YouTube, I did beat it, and I was a lot better at games then. It was good. It was great. It was a great game. I don't remember purring Sound Studio. I remember being satisfied with it, but not quite to this level. There's something else about this game. Maybe it's the fact that I went through it all in one go and wasn't replaying it all. Maybe it's the fact that I didn't know what to expect, because I knew a lot of what to expect out of Hollow Knight. But this game was satisfying for me in a way that I don't think any other game has managed to be. And that it was... See, I have a very weird approach when it comes to the games I want to play. I like being challenged, but I also hate being challenged. So basically, I like things that fall on the upper end of my comfort zone. Like things that seem doable, but I just didn't do them. And not things like that feel impossible, and I really have to stretch myself to even have a chance of doing it. So games like this that do fall on the upper end of my comfort zone are immensely satisfying to me, because I know straight from the start I can do this. I will do this eventually if I spend enough time at it, and we're not talking like days or weeks of grinding and training and stuff. But I will eventually do it. I just need to get a handle on things. And it didn't take me that long to get a handle on things. Like, I only needed to get to the third phase, I think it was like 4 times, to get the idea of what the screen slash attack was doing and how I was going to evade it. And that was a great cinematic, challenging yet rewarding fight, because it didn't feel unfair. It felt... I don't think I ever was actually frustrated. It felt like I was making mistakes. Like the Fushi fight was actually a little frustrating for me, because I didn't click that the other attacks were actually a part of the sequence and not randomly interspersed, and that was making me panic and stuff. But this one, everything felt locked in and tight and perfect, that sometimes I'd be in a good position where I nailed it perfectly and I'd be able to unbounded counter the overhead slash after the talisman dash. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to, and I was figuring that out, and I was learning the fight and getting the timings, and you could see me improving over the course of it to the point where I could barely make it through halfway through the first phase to where I was getting through the first phase almost hitless. And just wow. It's like I had a lot of fun with that. That was the sweet spot for me for difficulty. And it kind of makes me sad, because when I play through this again, and I'm probably going to give it a week or two before I play through this again, so by the time you're seeing this, I'll probably be playing through it again, because I'm recording this actually a fair amount in advance, more than usual, but I won't enjoy it as much, because I've found that cathartic release, and I've established that I can and did do it, and, you know, I'll just be proving it again and cleaning up the cracks. It's not a bad thing. I'm not like saying that this game isn't replayable. It's in fact so replayable that I'm probably going to be replaying it by the time you see this. But it's bittersweet, as ending a game always is, which is why I always watch the credits roll all the way through when I finish a game for the first time. And yeah, this is that for this one, and this was great. It was good. It wasn't very Metroidvania, I want to say. I don't know if this game advertises itself as a Metroidvania, but it really wasn't a Metroidvania to me. Because to me, a Metroidvania has some amount of backtracking for rewards that you can now access with new abilities, and some amount of non-linearity in what you can explore. And this game had very, very little of both of those. That doesn't make it a bad game. It might not even make it a bad Metroidvania, depending on someone else's standards. But to me, it wasn't as good of a Metroidvania as Hollow Knight was, but I do think that I like this better than Hollow Knight. And a majority of that is I like the combat better than Hollow Knight. Deflection-based combat is something I just really enjoy, despite the fact that I've rarely played games that feature it. But I don't know, I've been thinking about playing Souls-likes and stuff, but I haven't gotten around to it. But Hollow Knight's dodging-based combat, and that there wasn't any like talisman chaining and stuff, it was still satisfying. Hollow Knight's combat is definitely good, but I think I like this combat better because of how well it flows once you get everything down, especially in the boss fights. Like in the field, where there's a lot of stuff that can overlap, it can feel a bit chaotic and frustrating. But in the boss fights, where it all comes together and you can identify exactly when and where you can use each special move and how it works, it just feels so good to do that dance in that fight. Like those last 5 or 6 attempts, I was like, wow, look at how elegant this would look if I was able to look at the full screen, because I was not actually looking at the full screen there. I mentioned it earlier. I had my eyes on Egong literally the entire time. I was barely looking at E in my peripheral vision. 2024. This game was released last year. Like, this is not an old game. It deserves to have its peak. It deserves recognition. This is a great game. I loved that. I loved that game. I'll shut up now. Stuff's still growing on the cold blue planet. Oh, we got a new title screen. And battle memories. What's that? What's battle memories? I'm in box. Battle? Ah! Okay, okay, it's like, it's a boss rebattling mode. That's cool. I like that. Probably be using that a lot. Alright. So yeah, that was Nine Souls, a really solid game from start to finish. There were a couple of sticking points where I was frustrated. Nothing too bad though. It wasn't like incredibly annoyed, like why am I still playing this levels of frustration. It was just like, ah man, I really wish I could have gotten this. I never felt bad playing that game. Just a little bit not good. You can get it on Steam. Wow, it's €29. It's not that expensive. It is like what, Nintendo's releasing their games for 70 bucks nowadays on their own console for digital releases. Yeah, why bother? Just get your computer, get Steam, and get a $30 game that'll last you 30 hours. And it's gonna last me a lot more than that. I'm gonna play this again. I am gonna play the crap out of this again. I I loved this game. I love this game, present tense too. This was good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed every second of that. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to say. So, thank you everyone for watching this playthrough, this series, and this channel. I'll be around next week with... It's finally time for something else. Wonder what it's gonna be. Whatever it is, I'll see you there. Goodbye.